Hello and welcome back to my channel, Checks, Captures, Threats. Today's episode, we're now in game 20 in the rapid increase. So, one last time out, a very difficult game I think towards the end there with the time pressure. But now we're on to the game 20 now, so hopefully we can get a win and stay in the 1800s, but we will probably drop sometimes. But anyway, so I'm from India this time, 1872, so a lot higher than us. Now we're going to play d4 again. Sadly, c4 is not to my repertoire, but okay, so we're going to get knight to f6. Now that's obviously implying that he wants to do the Nimzo, but we're going to play the London here. London system. So, here we go. Simple moves so far. Now, e6 played, blocking in his bishop straight away. So, okay, I mean, I'm expecting this definitely then. Now he's going to play c5 again, and now I've got to play c3 just to watch this whole queen stuff. Now he's going to bring the knight out. All simple stuff at the minute. We're going to bring our bishop out now. Now he's going to capture. Okay, very early. So I think we're going to capture with this pawn even. I just feel like that gives us another pawn in the centre. Though, if we capture with the pawn here, I might actually be nice, actually. Let's capture with the e-pawn here. So, it does open up the king side here, but I think if we castle, that's going to work. But, as you play this, we do always play back here. And if he captures, that gives us a very nice attack on the king side. He doesn't do it just yet. We're going to bring the knight out now. We've got to play a little bit quicker. That's my aim for these next few games, hopefully. Just play a little bit faster paced. You know, don't run out of time too quickly, and then we'll be fine. So, we've been in positions like this before, or at least, I don't know if some sort of position like this, at least in the rapid increase, but I have been fond of this position before, so hopefully I know what I'm doing. Now, he's spending a bit of time now on this. So, we can always get this knight now up to b3 and try some attack on c5, but you know, I feel like this pawn chain's good because obviously this does show we're attacking the king side. If we look at how the pawn arrows are going this way, and it does stop these knights and bishops coming in here, and also protecting a very nice centre pawn. He could push, to be fair, puts a lot of weak square on this, but can do it, or can he? Maybe not yet. Now he is going to play queen to c7, so he's obviously putting a big attack on this now. Now, I think we're just going to actually follow suit with him here, actually, and we're just going to play queen to c2. Now, the reason for this being we have a huge attack on here, and if he captures, I mean, it's still fine for us. So, we can always castle queenside here, actually, surprisingly. First comes to us. Now, if we do castle kingside as well, and they then capture, we can just capture with the f-pawn. Gives us a very nice opening here, even. We might be doing that in the next few moves. So, he's going to move his knight now, so he's obviously playing a little bit more positional-like here. So he's obviously going to get his knight to this square soon. So, we've got to try and act fast. Now, he could try and do a pawn push here, but obviously that kind of limits our bishop to quite a weird square. Now, what I'm honestly thinking here is bishop to e5. Now, bishop to e5 here, if he captures, you know, we could capture with this pawn, you know, and then move this knight away. Obviously, that might mean the knight goes here, which puts us a little bit of a sticky situation. So, I'm honestly just thinking, we're just going to castle kingside here, and we're going to let this whole capture happen now. That should probably be the next move. Now, okay, he's going to move his knight to f5. Now, obviously, he's attacking this still. Now, there's a few things. If we capture here, he has to double pawn himself, and he's got a bit weak there, but also, I think this could limit this square now. But I think we're going to take. So, now after this, I think, now if we do get this rook here, obviously that does mean this is a little bit weaker. So I actually think we're going to play, or if we play this though, they have this knight that could come there. And obviously if we play this rook move, they can capture, and we kind of, maybe not the worst ideas here. We're going to play rook e1 then. We're going to allow this capture. No, he's going to do it straight away. Okay. So, wow. Now I think that's going to... That's actually puts it a bit maybe of a nicer even position here. So, we don't obviously want to take this knight, I think, yet. I think actually this move here, actually, I quite like. Because after the capture, we might even capture with the pawn here and make it a little bit more confusing. Now, obviously, this capture's fine. So, very, very difficult again here, these sort of games. This is where we struggle. And if we do lose, we're only 3 points below 1800. So, it's not all the worst. We'd love to win this, though. It'd be a very good game. Now, he's going to actually play his pawn move. Now, I was expecting this actually after he captured. But doing it now could actually lead him into, I feel like, a bit more of a trouble-like position. Now, what I'm expecting to do here, I think we have to take. If we go back, I feel like we might be wasting, maybe not wasting too much there. I think if we go back, we could do stop this f-pawn here. Yeah, it looks weird, but we're going to go back, and if they take, we can just take this pawn. I very much doubt he's going to sacrifice, because it doesn't really do anything, especially as we got a queen there as well. I mean, it's just what he wants to do now. He's going to go on a huge pawn push, so this is a little bit frightening. Now, if we take this, obviously this is going to take, so, you know, a little bit scary stuff going on now. Now, do we do something like this? No, because obviously next he's looking at pushing this pawn. Actually, I'm very surprised. Actually, I think like I would have just lost a piece just then. Maybe not. Actually, I don't know. But we've got to think fast now. It might actually be we have to capture, so wasting a few too many moves then. We're just going to have to capture. Already, again, low on time. You know, already a minute and a bit. So now he's going to choose. Obviously, he's going to choose this way to take. Now, he's not attacking too much when he pushes, to be fair, after this. So actually just going to push straight away. Not worry about that. He might try and push this pawn for this bishop to come through now. But I'll be very surprised, as this pawn is going to hopefully be our saving grace in some cases here. As this is going to limit this pawn, and also we now have these 3 pieces attacking this. So, okay. Obviously we don't take then, because of that. So we're actually just going to block everything in as much as we can and push. Okay, this is not looking good for us, although this is a very weak king for them, but we just need to try and get behind their king. That's the main aim. As we aren't down a piece or a pawn or anything yet. Emphasise on the yet, because knowing me, I've made a few blunders so far in this series. Now, just seeing what he can play. I would be very surprised if he tries something like this. So he's just going to go back here, revert to the, you know, he's going to look at pushing soon. So we've just got to be careful there. Now, if we probably capturing might even be one of our best moves on the board, surprisingly. Although it might just be that these pieces are blocking each other, so maybe not. So I feel like we need to kind of push our pawns up now. Kind of hope that we kind of let these pawns go through. I'm expecting maybe even this to happen. That would be outrageous. Okay, so we're just going to push our pawns up now. Because he's also trying to. I feel like that was actually a bad pawn move by him, as he's now limited himself into a very weird position. Now he's actually going to put his rook up with us, so that's actually not too bad for me. As I want to push this pawn now. I want to create an attack here. So we're going to create one. This bishop is poor. It needs to do some work. Now we are going to offer a trade of rooks here. So, is he going to take it? We'll find out. If he does, he gives us a very nice open rook that we can easily chuck on the 7th rank whenever needed. Just got to be careful of back rank, mate. That's why I was thinking about pushing this pawn earlier to stop this, but I feel like after this take, we're actually putting a bit of a pickle by then. So, now I'm obviously looking at capture here, and then he's going to try and capture this. Then I think we'll just take with the queen. Nothing too bad about that. Now he's just going to push his bishop back. So that gives us a few different things to look at then. Now, my obvious first answer is to actually go again here with this push, but that then puts the queen here. Maybe not the best position for us, although I think to protect that pawn we might have to. But then we can get our knight out. We can almost say as if we wanted to trade this knight the whole time, and now we're going to say that we won't, and we're going to use that knight. You know, we put pressure the whole time. This knight, I'm surprised, hasn't gone yet, because it's only had one square the whole time after they pushed that pawn. But it's been saving us for quite the time. So obviously this is forcing the queen to either go back, which it just won't, because it obviously puts itself in a bit of a weird position with this. And also, it will most likely have to go here, which does scare us a bit with this square on a4. But, you know, that knight move might save us for that. And the good thing is, after this knight move there, we can even revert this knight back. Obviously, I'd like to keep stuff at the king side, but honestly, if we can get rid of this knight, that's probably our first step into doing it. Although the knight's not doing too much other than blocking really one knight away. So it's thinking a bit long here. He's actually got about the same time as us, so we've done all right on time now these past few moves, causing a bit more of that. Now that does mean he's going to go back actually then, so he's going to do what I thought he wasn't going to do. Now, we actually have a few ideas, so I thought, now because of that, it's actually given us another plan. And that's this queen move. Now, the reason for this queen move is actually we're attacking this pawn, and that would really help to get that, so we're going to do that now. Obviously, we're protected with the knights. Now, the only issue I've got with this is after this push, this knight might become unprotected, but after the check, see, it's just a bit risky. That's the only thing. So, I think firstly, we might have to take. No, we can't take. Okay, right. We're going to make the queen move. We're actually going to play it. Yeah. So after this, capture. Then there's a check here. Actually, no, there would be a check here, so we're fine. Okay, so he doesn't do it now. That is a very risky move, if you ask me, because this pin is looking a lot on this knight. So after we take here, obviously his pawn can take, but I think we can actually bring our knight back down now. We're going to have to start playing a little bit quicker then. So he's going to take the pawn, as he will be. That's quite obvious. Now we're going to bring our knight back then. Again, an obvious move. Putting a lot of pressure then. So technically, we can win this pawn, but obviously this rook thing, he might try and trade now. He might, you know, try and use it against us. Now, he is actually going to play his king up here. So stopping that whole threat completely. Now, we are a little bit low on time, so we've got to think a bit quicker. Now, is there a certain idea? I think we're just going to move the rook off the line for now. We are actually going to let him have the open file. I'm expecting stuff like this this bishop to go in there for my queen. So we're going to put our king onto a very... I keep saying all the wrong pieces. I'm trying to rush my brain for everything. I'm going to get my queen in front of my king on g3, is what I was trying to say. Right. So. Okay. Luckily, his time's also going down, so it's not too much of a worry. What this, hopefully this episode has shown you is how bad knights can be against pawns. Because both my knights have struggled throughout, and to be fair, so is his bishop. So normally knights are good around pawns. When they're connected like this, you know, he's done very well with these sort of structures he's been able to create. I mean, we had to sacrifice a double pawn there, but now he's going to cause a very big attack here, and I think we're going to have to try and offer a queen trade here straight away. I'm not even going to, you know, press anything about that. Now, the only risky things about this is this pawn could be going soon. Now, I'd like to keep my queen on the board, especially as there's stuff like this check, but he's going to trade it. And I think we're going to take, actually, with this outside pawn here, and we're going to start, you know, stopping this push firstly with that. Now, I'm expecting something like this rook to come up. But we can block it, which is good. And we are actually ahead on time. This is the good thing about one of the last episodes on the chess guide we did about how to manage time. When we're ahead on time in an endgame, this could be very much a useful little guide for us. He'll rush moves. He'll, you know, might cause mistakes here that shouldn't be mistakes. So, if as we see here, these two things are played, and he plays this rook move. We are trapped in a little bit, but he's actually going to play his rook down one lower. Now, I did not expect that. Now, he's obviously looking to push this pawn here. I think we're actually just going to play this rook again here. He might try this, though, which might be a bit of a mistake, but he's not going to. He's actually going to double up here, which I think we cannot trade. Can we? I think we can. I think we can trade here. And we're going to push. So we've got to play a little bit quicker here. If we play quicker, he has to think more, which means, you know, even if these moves aren't good, I might be losing if he plays a rook down here move. I don't think this actually is bad, as we have some other ideas to go forward with. You know, like this knight move isn't too bad. Good thing is this can open up our rook soon as well, give as many checks as possible. So, we're actually a minute ahead now. This is very good time-wise. I'm surprised. It's probably the first time we've been ahead on time in an endgame where it's actually even. So, he's still thinking a lot here. You know, that move there, we didn't even spend a second on there. He's going to push, a very good move. Although, I think we can just play our knight back to here. It looks very risky. But after something like this, we can just take, and we have this. So it's not the best in the end, but I can see what he's trying. But you see, if moves like that, spent 41 seconds on. So if he spent 41 seconds and still making a move like that, it could be trouble. Now, we're going to take here. If he takes here, he's lost because there's a fork. And he doesn't see it. And we're going to play it quickly because we need to rush on time. But as we saw there, quick little detour. And that is going to be a huge piece that he has lost. And as we say, he's going to be all over the place now, as we're just going to use moves here to block everything possible. You know, the bishop's now blocked here. All we got to do is play a rook move like this soon, as we're going to do that now. Attack this bishop, and we're going to just play moves like this, and that'll actually trap it. So he's got to play out there, which we can now take here. And we've just got to find, there could even be a checkmate going on the board here soon, if we actually do it right. Although I don't think there will be, as we're just going to keep playing fast. Luckily, this is where the bullet and blitz that I've got 2,000 in does help, luckily. Now he's just going to be playing, you know, these sort of moves that we don't need to worry about. You know, all he's going to do is swap off stuff. We're fine for that. Just going to play this pawn move here. He's got 48 seconds left. And whatever he does now, it's just losing. So, we're going to play check on the board. If he goes here, there's actually we forcefully do it with check. I think he's trying to get a stalemate of some sort. It's not going to work, as he can't play the check. We're just going to take it with our queen. So this has been a very good game in the end. We was a bit dubious about his king side attack, but in the end, we do get the result. I've just got to make sure I do not stalemate. This could be a absolute humongous mishap. Now all we got to play is a check down here, a check here, oh god, and then another check here, and last but not least, checkmate. And we are going to win the game. There's a little bit, probably could have done better there, but we have won the game there. 18-24. We do not drop just yet. And that was a good game for us, I would say. 82.5% accuracy. Very good. We do make a blunder. I will need to see this. I think it was quite early on as well for us, actually, here. As all these book moves we was used to. Yeah. Now. Here. Yep. So we're about even. Knight to e4 wasn't the best move. We didn't really do that. Now, this was actually a blunder by a lot. And that is because, okay, we was seeing it. It was this push, and he does make that miss. So I did say about that earlier. I didn't know if it did or not because we could take. But it was, in fact, a huge mistake. I think they say actually take this first. But, and actually, we missed a move before that as well. But, you know, I made one blunder. He also made a blunder. So, you know, that's what you're going to see in these sort of, you know, opponents right now. As we go all the way down here. As I'll be honest, we was even in this endgame, but that was the critical move that lost him, as he thought he could protect it. But that knight move that we saw immediately, and we saw here, we knew that he was going to rush on time, so he's not going to think, as we said here. if we have this check, and he's going to take this. So we play the great move there. That wins us the game. And if you want to see here, this was actually a mistake. They wanted us to just play check. Actually, yeah, that would have been the quicker mate here, actually. Check has to go back. And then you've got check and then mate. Oh, not there. That'd be a very big miss. Then a checkmate. Or if they actually go up again here, we would get our famous another nearly checkmate with a knight. But that is it for today's episode. Another long one. But that was purely if you watched episode 58 of How to Manage Time. That's how we was able to win there. So, thank you, and bye-bye.